Carl is right here. Okay. Timer going. Thank you, Vanessa, and hello, everyone. I'm here for two purposes tonight. The first is to invite you to participate in this campaign that I'm trying to start within 350 MA, which will focus on ecological restoration as a strategy to sequester atmospheric carbon and mitigate climate change. The second reason I'm here is to invite you to the kickoff event for that campaign. See, it's already started. That's how good you are. And Carl will start to pass out these flyers now for those of you who don't have it. Just do your job. I've got about 10. Who wants one? We start to pass them out. So anyway, there's an event at Tufts University, January 25th. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute. So the second part is to invite you to this event. And notice of it was in the 350 MA email that went out earlier today, actually. So regarding the campaign, the focus of this campaign is to help direct the snowballing energy of the climate movement toward a solution with enormous potential to sequestering carbon in the quantities and time frame necessary to assure a livable future. This solution is worldwide ecological restoration, and particularly of grasslands, savannas, and prairies, which are the largest terrestrial ecosystem, occupying about 40% of the continental surface of the Earth, and which hold the greatest capacity for carbon sequestration. It basically boils down to soil. We've lost more carbon from soil, at least twice as much already from soil than there is extra carbon in the atmosphere. There are approximately 10 billion acres of degraded grasslands worldwide. Examples of restoration have demonstrated 1 ton of carbon sequestered per acre per year. If all 10 billion acres were under this type of restorative management, that would be 10 billion acres a year. In 20 years, that would be 20, okay? So let's move to gigatons. So a billion tons is a gigaton. So that's basically 10 gigatons a year. In 20 years, that would be 200 gigatons, which equates to 100 parts per million. It is the largest sequestration strategy by far, and we need to be working on it ASAP if we want to avoid serious global warming. The bad news is that climate change is actually much worse than is commonly discussed. Positive feedback loops, most notably polar methane releases, have the potential of causing runaway climate change and human extinction in this century. The good news is that carbon sequestration through ecosystem restoration is actually has much greater potential than is normally recognized. It can go faster and in higher quantities than we normally consider. And one of the reasons we don't normally consider it is because we don't think about vast areas of degraded grasslands. For the most part, we don't know what to do with that. We just think about reforesting, which is essential, but that's not where we're going to get the biggest bang for the buck. We have to put it into soils and grasslands. The second aspect of why I'm here is to invite you about this event, which is January 25th at Tufts University. It's called Reversing Global Warming While Meeting Human Needs, an Urgently Needed Land-Based Option. The presenter is Alan Savory, and he's a fellow who invented a practice called holistic management that restores grassland ecosystems. And this is being hosted by the Center for International Environment, Resource and Policy at the Fletcher School at Tufts University. That's the organization that Professor Bill Moomaw directs. A lot of you know him or know of him. He's one of the senior intellectuals in the climate world and is a senior editor of the IPCC. 58 seconds left. The last thing I want to say is that I went to Africa in 2011, and I spent 6 weeks at their sort of demonstration ranch where these pictures were taken, and some of you got the flyers with pictures on it. So I've seen firsthand the restoration of degraded grasslands. And basically, when you restore land, you're putting carbon in the ground. That's what you're doing. For the people who live on the land, they don't care about that. They're just getting their land back. They're getting their grass and their water cycle and their productivity. And for most of the people who are doing this, they don't even care about climate change. But it is a climate change issue, a very important one. So I hope you will come to that event, and I'll be here to